What if the biggest bottleneck for artificial intelligence isn't a chip or an algorithm, but a power cord? For 3 years running, I've mapped the AI investment landscape. And the framework I shared last year? Those picks delivered an average return north of 26%. That's not just beating the market, it's crushing it. My goal is simple: to give you a structured way to think about this revolution, so you can capture growth that leaves traditional indices in the dust, all through the simplicity of ETFs. I need to be clear, this is educational. I'm not a financial advisor. Past results don't guarantee future performance. Do your own research. This year, I'm shifting the lens. Instead of just listing funds, I'm giving you the blueprint, the entire industrial stack, from the raw materials to the robots. It's a 5-layer map of where the money is flowing. And by the end, I'll show you exactly how I deallocate $100 across this entire stack for maximum potential. Let's start at the bottom. Layer 1, the foundation. AI doesn't run on magic. It runs on megawatts. The real constraint today isn't processing power, it's electrical power. This layer is about the energy source itself. We're talking about the nuclear fuel cycle. Miners, reactors, utilities. They feed the insatiable 24/7 hunger of the digital brain. For this foundation, I'm looking at 2 ETFs. The first is a pure play on the fuel, the Global X Uranium ETF Euro. This isn't about tech companies using power. It's about the firms generating it. Every gives you targeted exposure to the entire nuclear supply chain. Its top holding is Cameco, the global supply backbone. But it also holds innovators, giving you a mix of stability and explosive potential. Details: 50 holdings, 0.69% expense ratio, and it's up roughly 72% year to date. Now, I know what you're thinking. 0.69% is high, but a 70% plus return makes that fee look microscopic. The alternative is picking individual stocks, which I don't recommend for most. The second fund broadens the play, the VanEck Uranium and Nuclear ETF NUKZ. This acts as a bridge between our foundation and the next layer. It holds fuel miners like Cameco, but also pairs them with utility giants like Constellation Energy companies signing direct power deals with tech titans. It's a bet on the entire electrification chain. Details: 46 holdings, 0.85% expense, and a strong 60% plus return this year. This brings us to our sponsor, Aether Innovations. Think of them as the architects of intelligent matter. They merge advanced materials science with AI-driven design to create next-generation components for everything from quantum computers to ultra-efficient batteries. Their patented process accelerates R&D by orders of magnitude, serving leaders in aerospace and computing. To see how they're building the physical future, check the link in the description. Now, Layer 2, the infrastructure. If Layer 1 is the power plant, this is the physical shell and nervous system. $2.8 trillion is pouring into the buildings, cooling, and grid that house AI. First, the shell, the Global X Data Center REITs and Digital Infrastructure ETF DTCR. While chipmakers get headlines, this fund owns the landlords. It holds companies like Equinix and Digital Realty, the giants who lease rack space to Amazon, Google, and Microsoft. It's pure play real estate for the AI age. Details: around 26 holdings, 0.50% fee, a solid 28% return, and a dividend. Second, the nervous system. The first trust NASDAQ Smart Grid Infrastructure ETF, GRID. If the data center is the body, GRID is the circulatory system. It invests in companies building the modern electrical grid substations, transformers, management systems. Its top holdings are industrial giants like Schneider Electric and Eaton. This is the most direct picks and shovels play for electricity. Details: 114 holdings, 0.56% fee, and a 29% year-to-date return. Okay, the house is built and powered. Now, who's living inside? Layer 3, the engine. This is the compute layer, the digital brain itself. Here, $4.2 trillion is being spent on the chips and systems where thinking actually happens. My top pick here is the Bottleneck Semiconductor ETF, SMH. This is the undisputed engine of the revolution. It strips out software to focus purely on the hardware that trains AI models. You get NVIDIA, Taiwan Semiconductor, and Broadcom in one concentrated package. It's the most direct route to own the silicon supply chain. Details: 26 holdings, a low 0.35% fee, and a massive 46% return this year. To broaden that engine, consider the iShares US Technology ETF, IYY. If SMH is the engine, IYW is the entire vehicle hardware and software. It uniquely keeps all the AI architects together, NVIDIA and Broadcom, alongside hyperscalers like Microsoft, Amazon, and Google. It's arguably the most accurate tracker of big tech's AI dominance. Details: 142 holdings, 0.38% fee, a 24.6% return. Now, what comes after silicon hits its limits? Layer 4, the accelerator. This is the frontier quantum computing. It's not a replacement, but a turbocharger for specific, complex problems. The play here is the Defiance Quantum ETF, QTUM. It lets you invest in the entire quantum trinity hardware, software, and enabling infrastructure without betting on one volatile stock. It holds pure-play builders alongside established tech giants diversifying into the space. Think of it as a call option on the next computing paradigm. Details: 78 holdings, 0.40% fee, and a strong 38% return. Finally, Layer 5, the application. This is where intelligence enters the physical world. It's not just about a single robot, but the orchestration of entire fleets automating our reality. This leads me to the ARC, Autonomous Technology and Robotics ETF, ARKQ. This fund bets on the brains behind the machines. Its largest holding is Tesla for autonomous fleets, followed by companies like Pterodactyl for industrial automation and Kratos for defense drones. It's a concentrated, high-conviction bet on active intelligence systems. Details: 38 holdings, 0.75% fee, and a top-tier 48% return this year. So, how do you put this all together? Let us map a $100 allocation based on urgency, where the cash flows today versus the moonshots of tomorrow. I call this the Bottleneck and Brains strategy. First, the engine room 40%. This gets the biggest slice because the growth is here asterisk, now asterisk. I'd put 25% into SMH for pure, concentrated chip exposure. Chips are the new oil. Then, 15% into IYW to own both the chipmakers asterisk and asterisk the hyperscalers buying them. It's a safety net that captures the whole ecosystem. Second, the physical constraint 30%. The energy bottleneck is urgent. I'd allocate 10% to URA for pure commodity exposure during a supply crunch. Another 10% to grid. This is the most underrated trade. If the grid fails, AI stops. Then 5% to NUKZ for utility contracts and 5% to DTCR for the data center footprint. Third, the application layer, 20%. Visible automation is deploying fast. I'd put the full 20% into a RKQ. Robotics is happening asterisk today asterisk, faster than quantum, and deserves a significant weight. Fourth, the future option, 10%. This is the moonshot. I'd put the full 10% into QTUM. Quantum is high risk, high reward. This is a healthy call option size enough to matter if it hits, but not enough to ruin your portfolio if it's delayed. That's the allocation. Heavy on the engines working today, heavy on the bottlenecks that could stop them, and a strategic stake in the future. The real wealth in AI won't be found in the hype, but in the industrial stack that makes it all possible. If this framework gave you a clearer map for the AI revolution, do me a huge favor. Smash that LIKE button. It truly helps the channel Lines of Thought grow and bring you more deep dives like this. Stop chasing headlines. Start owning the infrastructure. As always, thank you for thinking with me.